A $40 billion vodka industry rocked to its core. War, trade embargoes, import tariffs, supply chain issues. And what of vodka's origins and history? How did it become the #1 spirit in the world? Well, let's dive in. Hello, Hendo here, and welcome to Russian Vodka Off the Menu. In this video, we'll explore vodka's turbulent history, recent conflict and confusion surrounding Russian names of vodka. I'd like to start by sharing some context as the ongoing horrific human tragedy continues in Ukraine 3 months on from the Russian invasion started. I will focus on vodka history, the brands and marketing. I've seen vodka brands as I've worked in the drinks industry for a long time, visiting over 40 international markets and worked in over 300 cities. Let's take you to the region in question, what many call the Vodka Belt. Here is the Vodka Belt. It shows the key producing countries and consumers: Scandinavia, except Denmark, and all of northeastern Europe, down to Ukraine. Sweden, the largest exporter. Poland, the 4th largest producer. Norway, Poland, Sweden, Finland, Lithuania and Estonia all have PGI, protected geographical indication status, for the distinctive vodkas. It's too cold for producing wine. Grain spirit reigns here. Geography is important more than ever. Proximity to Russia, the world's largest country for import-export, and Ukraine, the breadbasket for many countries. Wheat for vodka, potato vodka took off in Poland. World wars and the Soviet era redefined the region. Vodka brands exported west. Since the Ukraine invasion, many Russian-sounding vodka brands have been scrambling to demonstrate they're not Russian-made, like Stoli Vodka clarifying its operations are in Latvia. Now let's take you back through the archives to a deep dive into the history of vodka, the world's most popular and top-selling spirit. However, the global vodka market has actually been on decline for several years, Russian vodka dropping 79% a decade. Many of the famous brands you know and see today have been around for longer than you may have thought, as you can see here. I worked with the first broker of Tito's vodka in Austin, Texas, which became #1. And he said in liquor, an overnight success takes over 20 years. And I think he's right about that. Vodka is part of the cultural identity of several Eastern European countries. From folklore, medicinal to recreational, developed over time, innovated and rapid expansion during large-scale globalization, with roots in Poland and Russia. But Poland has the strongest evidence, with written records in 1405. In Russia, from the social classes, the Russian state used vodka to keep nobility loyal, reward favourites or loosen the tongues and compromise them. Vodka politics and the Russian state have been intertwined for centuries and closely linked to state finances. Everything is decided from above in Russia. Vodka has played a key role in pivotal events in Russian history. Tsar Nicholas II, Lenin, and then later Gorbachev all opted for prohibition. Vodka also made Russia's public health disaster of the 1990s so much worse. Tax revenues for centuries, but nowadays Russia's revenues come from oil and gas. Only 1.3% of vodka drunk in the US now comes from Russia. By the way, famous Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev did not create 40% ABV standard. The periodic table, yes, but not the Russian standard, as often quoted in myth and brand marketing. The Vodka War, in a much cited A History of Vodka book by William Poklevkin, is another myth. Poland didn't sue Russia in 1977. Instead, for more accurate context, read a book called Vodka Politics by Mark Schrad. So what has James Bond and Pepsi Cola got to do with Russian vodka, you might ask? Well, Richard Nixon seen here with Khrushchev, the Soviet leader, at a 1959 trade event where an audacious Pepsi CEO, Don Hendo, insisted on him tasting the soda, becoming the first American brand to take root in the Soviet Union. As the currency was weak, payment was bartered in Stoli vodka. PepsiCo then became the vodka's US distributor in 1972 with a large network across the States. This resulted in vodka becoming the #1 spirit in the US in 1975. And 007, well, in 1962's Dr. No film, the vodka martini kick-started consumer demand, and Smirnoff was placed in several Bond movies. The 1970s and 80s, vodka rose in popularity with its clean flavour, cheap and most versatile spirit in cocktails. As a result, whiskey sales slumped. So brand influencers still matter. And then Sex and the City, with its Cosmo cocktails, took vodka to another level in the noughties with the rise of female drinkers, population, and super premium with distinctive packaging, adding glitz and glamour. However, gin has taken the wind out of vodka sales in the last decade. Now back to more recent events. As the Russian crisis unfolded, the reaction was swift. Some export strategies had to be changed within 24 hours. In week one of the Russian invasion, Western consumers voted with their wallets. Bars and stores boycotting Russian vodka and products. Russian-made vodka has become persona non grata. All things Russian falling out of favour. More than 400 companies have announced suspending trade or cutback operations in Russia, expressing concern for their employees and also their brand reputation. However, there is talk of Russia seizing assets of companies that left Russia, including their brand and intellectual property. Hence, famous corporate food and drink brands were quite slow to react, and they were called out for this. Corporate peer pressure, one by one they caved in, and only time will tell how things will pan out. Geography suddenly back sharp in focus, supply chain shortages, cost rises, inflation across countries, brand pivots, and there's more than 200,000 workers in Russia still on Western payrolls. There are Russian and Belarusian restrictions from the 1st of July 2022 to all EU countries on all products. It's already difficult to ship products to Belarus and Russia simply because main carriers UPS, FedEx, DHL all have embargoes. Russian Standard Vodka was the #2 vodka brand in global travel retail and 8th by volume in spirit sales at duty free in 2020. So likely see some changes at the airport. JJ Whitley Vodka is moving production from Russia to the UK and reworking their bottle labels and marketing. Remember when alcohol brands were quick to make hand sanitizer at the beginning of the pandemic? They read the room and showed up. Now to the Ukraine support since the crisis started, alcohol brands have been inspired, quick to show support with these special bottles or beer cans to donate profits to charities that help Ukraine. Budweiser is now bringing Ukraine's favourite beer to the UK market to feed the Ukraine support. And Stoli has just launched this Ukraine support bottling with its new name. Understanding a need and how they can help, social listening and reacting to be relevant. Cynics might not agree, but it actually builds brand loyalty. Then there's Ukraine bravery. This is a powerful message. The Ukraine government has started a campaign in the West to build on unprecedented outpouring of support. People are driven by emotion in the West, and this campaign will likely solidify support. And do you remember also at the beginning of the pandemic when people were Googling the corona beer virus? Well, now there's non-Russian vodka being confused for Russian vodka. Russian sounding names of brands being caught off guard. Perceptions can be strong because of the cultural association of vodka and Russia. Here's the world's top selling vodka brands. You'll recognise some of these. They're not actually Russian. The Russian vodka boycotts haven't really hit Western consumers though, with so many alternatives. But trade embargoes have affected importers, distributors and bottling agreements in several countries. Ukrainian liquor businesses have had to shut down or be mothballed. There's been some heartbreaking calls from industry colleagues. In the confusion and irony in the US, many Russian-themed businesses are owned by Ukrainians that escaped the Soviet Union, and the majority of the staff Ukrainian. So when the boycotts happened, it directly affected those who were sending money back home to help. Bear in mind, Scotch whisky and other drink categories have also been heavily affected with exports, their partners, and locked out. Here are some Ukrainian vodkas. Ukrainian vodka has seen a huge surge in demand, but distillers have to suspend production or source elsewhere. Brands that couldn't get in front of buyers until recently are now being demanded. The power of the conscious consumer is driving the agenda. Ukrainian origin vodka jumped 225% in March on Drizzly USA. There are some very good vodkas. Many are wheat or rye grain with some high quality premium vodka. Serve with a pickle and support their cause. And of course there's Polish vodka. Many people and distributors are also switching their focus to Polish vodka with its long heritage of making quality spirit. You can see some of the brands here. The Bison Grass vodka, also Belvedere is from Poland, owned by LVMH. J.A. Bachevsky on the right is particularly good. And then there's UK vodka. It's one of the countries where craft vodka really taken off in the last 5-10 years. Black Cow from Milkway. Scottish vodkas are Beaky and Ogilvy. O Vodka from Wales have done an incredible job recently, the fastest growing online brand 2021. This is where opportunity is. With Russian standard vodka being delisted, sales are down, leaving a gap. £111 million in the UK market alone. According to Nielsen IQ, craft vodka is rising in the UK and worth trying. Now here's a latest report from Bacardi, cocktail report with vodka at the top, flavours, taste. Drinks are ultimately about occasions and they differ where you live. Occasions, you'll find that Polish vodka is essential at Polish weddings and all important events. They also take vodka and black pepper for an upset stomach. There's the Russian tradition of toasting. It's common to drink chilled vodka straight in shots with pickled cucumber or caviar. In the West, it's often with a mixer in cocktails or shots at a bar or a club. Occasions is the core discussion for brands where they can compete and make a difference. To entice, inspire as an integral part of the human experience, an extension of one's personality like any other luxuries in fashion or watch brands. Premium spirits are for people living a balanced lifestyle. Drink less but drink better. Conflict between the world's 11th largest economy and one of its biggest commodity producers affects us all. From energy to grain, price rises are inevitable. Currently, the crisis is ongoing, so expect further changes. As a long-term support strategy for Ukraine, you could think of spreading the word Horilka. It means vodka in Ukraine, triple distilled. Horilka is an integral part of any Ukrainian gathering. The word Horilka has been used from the 18th century and made from wheat. I presented this content as part of a talk at the World Food Travel Association's Food Treks Global Summit in April just there, which I'm a co-chair in the wine and beverages practice area, and we aim to provide drinks education and informed solutions to food tourism. This just in, the Association of Russian Vodka Producers, Gazprom and others no longer have access to EU Parliament, shutting off Russian affiliated lobbying. It's a big deal. And latest figures show vodka is up 24% first quarter 2022 than pre-COVID in a CGA on-premise report. So vodka ain't going anywhere. People are back, bars are back, gigs are back, revellers are back. And this is vodka's heartland. It's expected to be a free spending summer despite talk of the cost of living crisis. Vodka is here to stay. But you can buy with a conscience, something a little more artisanal, and brands that support peace. And also brands can do more for the category education. This is one of the key takeaways here. So until next time, thanks very much for watching. Slanjava.